Once again, Christian greetings to all our valued listeners and viewers throughout the whole world. This is the continuation of our subject on day 5. It's already part number 3. And we will just make a little summarization. First of all, October 22, 1844, that is already an established fact, a foundation that all of us fully believe that October 22, 1844 is the commencement of the judgment of the dead. Now, so I would like to place here, October 22, 1844. October 22, 1844. So we have on the board, October 22, 1844. That October 22, 1844 in Bible calendar is October 11. October 11, 1843, Bible calendar. So, let us ponder deeply, brothers and sisters. Why October 11? Why? First, October 22, 1844 is the end part of the 2,300 years. What is the message on Daniel 8, verse 13 and 14? Let us read again the statement. In 2TG number 42, on page 33, it says, 32 and 33. And the angel explained, to TG 42, pages 32 and 33, the last part. And the angel explained that the cleansing of the sanctuary, cleansing it from both error and hypocrisy, takes place after the 2,300 days during the time of the end. Now, that statement alone, if we will carefully study, is even enough to portray the whole truth concerning the cleansing of the sanctuary. Now, the statement is very plain. When would be the cleansing of the sanctuary takes place? The answer is found in that reading, 2TG 42, 32, and 33. The answer is after the 2,300 days. So, it cannot be within. So, to October 22, 1844, backward, there is no cleansing. There are only two cleansing that pertains to the heavenly sanctuary. The cleansing of the sanctuary itself and the cleansing of the books. I would like to repeat again. Concerning the cleansing pertaining to the heavenly sanctuary, there are only two that will be cleansed. First, the sanctuary itself, and second, the books. And concerning the sanctuary to be cleansed, there are only two apartments, holy place and most holy place. Now, what apartment in the heavenly sanctuary that specifically need to be cleansed? Only the holy place. Only the holy place that need to be cleansed. Why? Because even in the illustration in the Levitical priesthood, only the holy place that had been that need to be cleansed. The most holy never been polluted. So the only portion in the heavenly sanctuary that need to be cleansed is the holy place, not the most holy place. Now, in October 22, that is the end part of the 2,300 years. The statement in 2TG 42, 32, and 33, saying, and the angel explained that the cleansing of the sanctuary, cleansing it from both error and hypocrisy, takes place after the 2,300 days during the time of the end. So, the statement is very plain that the cleansing after the 2,300 days, meaning after October 22, 1844, is first pointing to the books, not to the sanctuary itself. Now, I would like to repeat again, brothers and sisters. In October 22, 1844, the veil was lifted. And it is pointing to the sanctuary on the third heaven. So, this is holy place and most holy place. Holy place, most holy place. In October 22, 1844, the veil was lifted. What happened? the entire sanctuary became most holy place. According to 2SR 215, that the entire sanctuary, when the veil was lifted, became most holy place. What happened to the entire sanctuary? Surrounded by the sea of glass, clear as crystal. The sea of glass, clear as crystal, cometh from the throne of God the Father. So, even before the veil was lifted, the entire most holy place is already surrounded by the sea of glass, clear as crystal. But not the holy place. But when the veil was lifted, the sea of glass filled the entire holy place, by which the entire holy place became most holy. Now, there are two things by which we need to consider. The first one is that according to 2SR 184 and also 2SR 199, no one is allowed to enter into the most holy place the names of the wicked. So, I would like to read these two passages. 2SR page 199. It says, therefore, the sea of glass proceeds from God's throne and represents life eternal, which is the reward of those whose names are in the Lamb's book of life within the 7 seals. And there shall in no wise enter into it anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh abominations, or maketh a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life. So, in the most holy place, no one is allowed to enter therein anything that defileth, pointing to the names of the wicked. So, the same with the statement in 2SR 184. It says, the virgins were called to meet him, and thus by faith go in with him, to appear before the Father, the great judge. The seal is the permit. It places their names in the Lamb's book of life, and thus it grants to them the right to appear before the Father in the judgment, not in person, but in figure. Meaning, only their names have been brought into the most holy place. So, in that divine principle, if all the books, because prior to the time when the veil was lifted, all the books were placed in the golden altar. Now, if all the books will be allowed to remain in the holy place until the veil was lifted, then it will be violated the divine command of God the Father that there will be no names of the wicked to be brought into the most holy place. When the veil was lifted in October 22, 1844, the entire sanctuary became most holy. And that's what it means by the statement that in October 22, 1844, the sanctuary itself is cleansed by taking out all the books containing the names of the wicked, transferred to the holy place, which is the third heaven. So since the entire sanctuary became most holy, so there must be holy place, and that is in the second heaven. And that is why, according to the shepherd's rod in track number 1, the description is that the cherubim is standing under the throne, but the seraphims are standing above the throne. So, it's easy to understand by saying the seraphim are standing above the throne in the holy place, whereas the cherubim is standing under the throne in the most holy place. Or, the seraphim is standing above the throne in the holy place, which is in the second heaven, whereas the cherubim is standing under the throne of the most holy place, which is in the third heaven. So, in October 22, 1844, the entire sanctuary in the third heaven was cleansed. But the only place that had been cleansed is the holy place. And how it was cleansed? By taking away all the books containing the names of the wicked transferred to the holy place. Therefore, the only book that had been retained in the most holy place, third heaven, is the Lamb's book of life, sealed with 7 seals, and the book of life of God the Father, sealed with 7 seals. Or, there are only 2 books remain in the heavenly sanctuary in October 22, 1844 in the third heaven, which is the most holy place. That is the book of God the Father and the book of Jesus Christ, by which both of them it is the book concerning the plan of redemption. So, hoping that that portion is very clear, brothers and sisters. Therefore, the cleansing of the sanctuary in October 22, 1844, that commenced is not the third heaven, but the second heaven. Because the cleansing of the sanctuary in the third heaven occurred on October 21, 1844. Because in Bible calendar, that is October 10, 1843. Because the cleansing must be on the Day of Atonement. That is the only day by which it is called cleansing, brothers and sisters, according to 2SR 187. It was called the Day of Atonement, Judgment, or Cleansing of the Sanctuary. 2SR page 187. So, the cleansing of the sanctuary took place only on the Day of Atonement. So, the cleansing of the sanctuary on the third heaven occurred on October 21, 1844. That is Gregorian calendar, but in Bible calendar, that is October 10, 1843. October 10, 1843. And in what way does the sanctuary in the third heaven was cleansed? By taking out all the books by which containing the names of the wicked. And all of them brought down to the second heaven, and there is a sanctuary in the second heaven by which serve as the holy place. So all the books, the 64 books, were already on the second heaven since October 22, 1844. And the only book that remained in the third heaven since October 22, 1844 is the book of Jesus Christ, the Lamb's Book of Life, sealed with 7 seals, and the book of God the Father, the book of life, sealed with 7 seals. So, those are the 2 books that remain in the third heaven when the entire sanctuary became most holy place. Right, brothers and sisters? Now, we already read that the ingathering of God's people were revealed by the 40 typical days, according to tract number 3, third edition, page 6. And not only one generation, but every generation. So let us read again. Tract number 3, third edition, on page 6. So it says here, page 6, moreover, his personal care in gathering his people in those 40 days, which we see to be a type of his supervision of the ingathering of the fruits in every generation. Every, the word every meaning all generations. It says, should therefore reveal that he is the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world and the good shepherd in all ages. So, there is only one type, that is number 40. The 40 days from Christ's resurrection to his ascension, that is typifying all the ingathering of the fruits in every generation. Now, that ingathering is in the heavenly sanctuary, that 40 days. Although it is also applied to the earthly sanctuary, but only in the judgment that pertains to the living, not to the judgment that pertains to the dead. So, the statement in Old Symbolic Code, I would like to read again. 1 Symbolic Code, number 9, page 8. It says, moreover, the very first vision which Sister White had was of the 144,000. And the denomination has always believed that its purpose was to gather the remnant people, the 144,000. Hence, when the net was first sent forth in 1844, it was for the gathering of the 144,000, which is still vaguely believes it is after, but which the Shepherd's Rod proves it has already gathered. What has been already gathered in October 22, 1844? It is the first group of people that had been God commanded to be measured, and that is the temple. So, the constituent of the temple was already gathered into one vessel because the command is put them into one vessel. So it was gathered into one vessel. First gathered into vessels. How many vessels? The temple? 5. For there are 5 seals. And when was the gathering, brothers and sisters? It was revealed through the truth of the 144,000. That the gathering of the 144,000 will take place only 1 year. Just 1 year. And that is from, let us show again the diagram from 1833. Okay. Now, you can see that diagram. How do we know that the proceedings in the holy place began on the year October 10, 1833? How do we know? First, by the Levitical system. Because the work of Christ was illustrated in that Levitical system. That before the high priest will enter to the most holy place, there must be first 10 days proclamation, Feast of Trumpets. And since we fully believe that Jesus Christ entered to the most holy place in October 22, 1844, then we just need to count backward 10 years. Now, let us go to timeanddeath.com. October 21, 1844. October 21, 1844. And let us count backward 10 years backward. So you will fall on October 10, 1833. So, remember, God keeps accurate time. God keeps accurate time. According to the Shepherd's Rod, I would like to quote that reading in 1 SR 153. It says, God keeps accurate time. So, God keeps accurate time. So, I would like to try to illustrate it gradually. No one would deny the absolute fact that Jesus Christ entered to the most holy place October 22, 1844. Jesus Christ is our high priest, right? But in the Levitical system, before the high priest will enter to the most holy place, there must be 10 days Feast of Trumpets. But since this is a symbolical prophecy, 1 day equivalent to 1 year. So 10 days, it must be 10 years. So the proclamation of the trumpets, which is also called the midnight cry, the message under the 6th trumpet in the primary application, exactly 10 years, commenced in 1833. And it was also stated in the Shepherd's Rod, the time by which William Miller began to proclaim. That was in 1833. White House Recruiter on page 19. So, it was in 1833, there are 10 years, the proclamation of the trumpet, which is under the 6th trumpet. So, the sounding of the trumpet must be during the time when Christ's mediatorial work is in the holy place. Why? Because the voice cometh from the golden altar, according to track number 5, page 78, and also track number 5 on page, I think page 31. Page 31. The altar being in the holy apartment of the sanctuary at the sounding of the 6th trumpet proves that the trumpet sounded before the most holy apartment was open for use. So, had it been in use, the voice would necessarily have come from therein, where the throne is. So, that is very plain. Track number 5, page 31. And we know that that voice that came from the throne, from the golden altar, is the voice of Jesus Christ. Because the judgment seat of Jesus Christ is in the holy place. That statement in 2 Corinthians 5, verse 10. 2 Corinthians 5, verse 10. The judgment seat of Jesus Christ is in the holy place. So there are 10 years proclamation of the Feast of Trumpet, equivalent to the 10 days. From 1833, October 10, 1833, to October 10, 1843, by which in Gregorian calendar, October 10, 1843, that is October 21, 1844. So, October 21, 1844 is the Day of Atonement. That is the Day of Atonement, brothers and sisters. There was no atonement in October 22 because atonement, brothers and sisters, means removal. Removal of the names of the wicked and removal of the sins of the righteous. So we need to study from October 22, 1844 onwards, the entire proceedings. So from October 22, 1844 up to May 19, 2011. May 19, 2011, in Bible calendar, that is October 10, 2012. October 10, 2012. So let us gradually decipher this very important subject, my dear brothers and sisters. So, to repeat again, the shepherd's rod made it so plain that in October 22, 1844, there are saints that had been gathered. One symbolic code number 9, page 8, it says, but which the shepherd's rod proves it has already gathered. Who are they, the saints that has already gathered in October 22, 1844? Of course, that is the temple. It cannot be the altar. It cannot be the worshippers, because at that time, the altar, brothers and sisters, many of them did not even yet physically born. How much more to the 144,000 living saints? So that the term mentioned there, that the shepherd's rod proves that it has already gathered, pointing to the first 5 seals. Who are they that had been gathered? The good fish. That remaining 1 year, let us look at again that enumeration. So we already enumerated the first 5 seals, that each seal there must be 2 atonements. October 10, 1833 to October 10, 1834, the names of the wicked under the first seal had been blotted. So, now, from October 10, 1835 to October 10, 1836, that is the second seal. All the names of the wicked under the second seal had been blotted. Then October 10, 1837 to October 10, 1838, all the names of the wicked under the third seal had been blotted. Then October 10, 1839 to October 10, 1840, all the names of the wicked under the fourth seal had been blotted. Then October 10, 1841 to October 10, 1842, all the names of the wicked under the fifth seal had been blotted. Why is it that Jesus Christ need to blot? If it pertains to the wicked, the term used by inspiration is blot. The names of the wicked are blotted. But when it pertains to the righteous, the names of the righteous had been marked or sealed. So you cannot use the term sealed and marked to the wicked, but rather blotted. I would like to read that reading in track number 3. Track number 3, page 73. It says, the day, track number 3, page 73, the day in which the Lord will blot from His book the names of all sinners. What day? Day of Atonement. Because that is the one that had been mentioned in the upper sentence. So, the day in which the Lord will blot from His book, not blot out, because the one who will blot out the names of the wicked are the angels. But in order for the angels not to commit mistake, to avoid committing mistake, Jesus Christ blotted all the names of the wicked to be blotted out. Who will blot out the names of the wicked? The angels. But who will blot the names of the wicked? Jesus Christ. So, there is no reason for the angels to commit mistake, because the names that they will blot out is the name that had been blotted by Jesus Christ. And the blotting of names in the holy place since 1833 to 1843 Bible calendar are the names of the wicked under the first 5 seals. Now, the last remaining year, let us go back to the diagram. October 10, the last remaining years. Okay. October 10, 1842 to October 10, 1843, that is the time by which the gospel net needs to be completely cleansed, according to the reading in one symbolic code number 9, page 8. All the names of the wicked are blotted out, or erased, or delete, and then go back to the sea. So their names have been written into the book represented by the sea. But the names of the righteous under the first 5 seals, according to the shepherd's rod, were transferred to the vessels. But on the Day of Atonement, on October 21, 1844, or October 10, 1843, put into one vessel. So, from October 10, 1842, it was gradually transferred into vessels. Then, in October 21, 1844, the net, the book represented by the net is empty. No more names. The names of the wicked and the names of the righteous are deleted or blotted out or erased. And the names to be inscribed into the book represented by the gospel or gospel net, brothers and sisters, are the bad fish and the good fish under the sixth seal or represented by the altar. So, then, in October 21, 1844, or October 10, 1843, all the names or all the books containing the names of the wicked were taken out in the third heaven and brought into the second heaven to serve as the holy place due to the fact that when the veil will be lifted, the entire sanctuary became most holy and God the Father decreed that there should be no names of the wicked to be brought into the most holy place, therefore it must be transferred. And secondly, if the names of the wicked were allowed after the veil had been lifted, when the entire sanctuary became most holy, by which it was surrounded by the sea of glass, clear as crystal, then all the wicked will be granted immortality. Because to have our names within the sea of glass, clear as crystal, indicates eternity. And it is an impossible thing. Eternal life is promised by God only to the righteous. So, that is one of the major subject concerning the sanctuary doctrine. There are many minor parts, but I just focus to the most important part. So, I hope that we have been finished the information concerning the work of Christ from 31 AD up to October 22, 1844. From 1833, October 10, 1833, backward to October 10, 43 AD, there was no judicial proceedings that occurred within that period of time, according to the Shepherd's Rod. Because the judicial proceedings commenced in 1833. What judicial proceedings? Blotting the names of the wicked. So that is the only judicial proceedings that took place in October 10, 1833 to October 10, 1843. Or in Gregorian calendar, that is, let's see, that is October 10, 1833, that is December. So, that October 10, 1833, in Gregorian calendar, that is December 13, 1834. So, that is the proceedings in the holy place for 10 years, represented also by the Feast of Trumpets. 10 days equivalent to 10 years. And also represented by the message in Matthew 20:25, saying, "Behold, the bridegroom cometh." So that is from October 10, 1833, by which in Gregorian that is December 13, 1834, and ended in October 10, 1843, Bible calendar, by which in Gregorian that was October 21, 1844. So we will continue the subject, brethren, on our next episode, and I'm praying that God would help us, brothers and sisters. So thank you very much for listening and viewing this program. May the good Lord bless you and have a beautiful, wonderful evening.